Okay, so it is, I believe, March 23rd, 2024. Again, March 23rd, 2024. Saturday night. And I brought my vehicle in for a transmission repair about 2 weeks ago. It turns out it needs a replacement transmission. So it needs a new or rebuilt transmission. So I could not continue on pay for child abuse. Yeah, pay for the continued abuse of my children money. Last month, because I had to keep that entire paycheck, the last entire paycheck and everything, to get this transmission replaced, because if I don't get the transmission replaced, it is absolutely not possible for me to get to work, which is 200 miles away, one way. 200 miles away, one way. You can't take the bus or an Uber or a Lyft that kind of distance. There is no other way to go that kind of distance without a reliable vehicle. And this is not the first time I have tried to gear up to get the vehicle in, but this is the first time I've been able to hold on to enough money in time and get the vehicle in. So it's there at the mechanic, and I am desperately waiting for the vehicle to get fixed and for me to get the vehicle back. I have paid the full amount for the vehicle to be repaired now. Well, other than $100 more that needs to be paid, but I have paid everything else for the vehicle to get fixed, and I just feel like I keep waiting, and I know that it hasn't really been that long since the mechanic got, most of the money, other than $100. The mechanic's gotten all the money. And it's only been a little over a week, and he had to order the transmission and have it shipped over and everything to get it done. So it hasn't been that long, really, but it feels like it's been years. It feels like it's been years that I've been waiting. And of course, the sociopath X has summoned me to court for failing to pay him to continue abusing the children, I guess, and demanding all these financial documents and everything, like I'm holding out and I have all of this money and so much more money. Then nothing has changed. I haven't gotten a raise or anything. Nothing has changed. And he sent the constable over to serve me and everything, so he knows where I'm located, where I'm living. So right now there's abuse by proxy stalking going on with law enforcement and the constable and all of these things, and he has been trying to contact people I know. People I know have been telling me that he's been trying to contact them. So there's that kind of stalking going on as well. And pretty soon he's going to be stalking me in person here, and he's going to be sending other people over here to stalk me. So there's definitely going to be an escalation and abuse by proxy and abuse by proxy stalking, and then in-person stalking directly. It's just obvious it's going to happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, or maybes. It's going to happen. So yeah, he started out by sending the local sheriff over to do an alleged welfare check, lying to the local sheriff's department and claiming that, you know, he and the children were so worried about me that they hadn't heard from me in a long time, and they were so worried about me and they care so deeply and just so concerned. And they just sent, you know, he sent the sheriff over for this phony baloney fake welfare check, which was abuse by proxy, because he's using the authorities to, you know, to do what he wants them to do, to let me know he can find me, to let me know he can reach out here and get at me, to let me know that he can convince them of anything, letting me know that, you know, all it takes is a lie and he can do whatever he wants to do using the authorities again and again and again, just like he's done in the past. Just lie and get the authorities to do whatever he wants them to do. That's what abuse by proxy is. And of course, his desperate worry and fear for my well-being, it evaporated within 3 weeks or so, because, you know, then the constable came out and served me papers to appear in court with all of these financial documents and all other kinds of things, which is a 200-mile drive away to get to that court mediation situation. And I can only hope that I get my vehicle back, because there's no other way to even think about getting there. And in addition to that, I am wrapping my mind around the fact that I'm going to have to live in my vehicle, because it's absolutely, definitely guaranteed no way safe for me to live in any kind of stable, stationary home environment in any location, because of the abuse by proxy and everything else that's coming. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he lies again and says that, you know, I said something or I did something I never said, never did, never thought about saying or doing. And he will, you know, easily, by lying, get the authorities to take, you know, whatever action against me. It could be the cuckoo bin. You know, he just has to wave the magic lie. Oh yeah, she said she's gonna, you know, kill herself and blah blah, or she said she's gonna kill somebody else and blah blah, or both. Just a magic lie. It's so simple, and he can get it to happen. Or, you know, he could get me arrested by the same means, just telling some lies, and it will work without fail, you know. And he can certainly set it up, you know, as well. It's so easy. He knows where I'm located. So there's so many ways that he can, you know, enhance a story like he's done in the past, you know. Like he did in the past when he put all my things in boxes in the garage while I was at work. And then when I came home, he lied and said that, you know, we had been not together for months and months and months, and I couldn't accept it and all this BS, which never happened. I had no idea that he'd spent the day while I was at work packing all my things and putting them in boxes in the garage. And the bathroom things were right under the bathroom sink. And then he told the police that, you know, well, you know, he let me use his toothbrush when I would come over and he couldn't make me leave. That's so disgusting. That is so gross. That never happened. It's so easy for him to get people to do whatever he wants. So yeah, I have to move into my vehicle. I have no idea how I'm supposed to maintain employment that way. I mean, how? I do work remotely right now, but I need internet. I need, electricity to run the computer, the equipment. Yes, I know you can, put solar panels on a vehicle and you can do different things, but realize, that costs some money. And he's busy trying to lie and scam and deceive and manipulate and abuse by proxy himself into getting more money, maybe claiming that I'm just lying about everything, which I'm definitely not, and that I need to give him, a double or triple payment like right now because, whatever working the system, scamming. I'm sure there's a million scammy stories that he could tell to make that enforceable, just sit there and garnish the wages and all this stuff, grab all the money out. And then, I'm just going to be unemployed post haste and definitely not be able to, even try to get a couple $100s or less worth of solar equipment to try to have power when I'm living in the vehicle. But ultimately, the update is I'm going to have to live in my vehicle. I can't live in any stable location anywhere. Not anywhere, not any apartment, not any off-grid property, not any friend's home, not anywhere. I can't, not any acquaintance's home. I can't live anywhere that's a stable location because it's just a matter of time before the abuse by proxy would resume and escalate and then move on to the rest of the stuff. So that's kind of the update right now. Who knows how many days, weeks, or months it'll take me to upload this, or if I'll even be able to. But that's the update right now. I know I've been really bad about posting these. Yeah, and I'll try to upload the video of when the constable came Wednesday of this last week in the morning, right before I was supposed to log in to work remotely. And I said some cuss words, so I don't know if I'm going to make it public. I didn't say cuss words to the constable, but I was saying some cuss words like softly to the dogs, basically, because they were barking and they were going ballistic. And, well, yeah, that's what they're supposed to do. But he lived so many years, this way. And when stuff like this goes down and you are in the middle of it, you just the panic, the fear, and you just need everything to be really, really quiet. You need everything to be quiet because you want to hear the slightest of noises anywhere around you. You want to be able to focus on hearing and seeing any little noise, any little movement, any little anything. And when the dogs are barking and going absolutely bonkers, haywire, crazy, making so much noise, and then jumping up and down in front of me and barking and going crazy and running here and running there and barking and body slamming and getting in front of me so I can't walk. I can't move, I can't step anywhere because they're like in front of me just going bonkers. It was just like it's kind of like trying to walk through a horror fun house, like a horror movie fun house with perpetrators, hiding behind God only knows where in the fun house. And it's super dark in that situation, in that comparison. And there's the biggest fireworks show in the fun house just exploding all around you. making it so you can't see, you can't hear, and you can't even walk because the firecrackers are exploding right in front of your feet and to all sides of you, just constantly. That's what it felt like. And then I had a really bad arthritis flare up that day. I could barely walk to begin with. And all of this was going on. And that just makes it worse because it's like that internal, visceral feeling like you've got to be able to run. You've got to be able to move. You've got to be able to get away. And you can't physically because of the arthritis flare up. And then, somebody's out there, somebody's out there and you don't know who it is. And you can't hear anything because the dogs are going ballistic. And you couldn't even walk or move, even if your arthritis wasn't flared up, because the dogs are jumping around in front of you and they're like going after each other and they're body slamming you and they're big dogs. And it was just, oh my gosh, so bad. It was so bad. And so I said some cuss words at the dogs. I didn't shout them or anything, but I did say some cuss words at the dogs. So I don't know if, obviously I don't think that I'm going to make it public. And then the constable proceeded to serve me, even though he didn't really identify me. He must have looked at like the driver's license records and picture or whatever, which basically just tells me the perpetrator can access that information, has accessed that information, and that anybody he sends to do whatever can access it too. That would mean not only police and social services, whatever, and constables, but it means private investigators. It means anybody he wants to do abuse by proxy. Anybody at all. They're going to be able to access all of that. But of course, I'm like, all this chaos is going on. My arthritis is flared up. Of course, I'm like, I don't want to identify myself in that situation. I can't even move. So yeah, I have to live in the vehicle. It's the only way I have any chance at all of being safe. Because this is going to escalate, and it's going to escalate fast. So I probably am not going to be able to have employment. And I guess I should have known that I can't live anywhere and I can't be employed. I guess I should have known. Because he's not going to stop. I made the mistake of exposing him when I turned the nanny cam videos over to the police and everything. I did that, and that caused severe narcissistic injury. And, he wants revenge. He wants to get paid to continue abusing the children, and he wants revenge. And there's no limit to how much revenge he wants. It is limitless. So, yeah, that's the update. Thanks for listening.